Sorry if it's dark, and this is going to be somewhat of a random introduction to this video, but it's something that's been on my mind all day. I was leaving work on my lunch break to go pick up some food, and when I left the parking lot, I passed the walking path, and I noticed that there were some people walking on their lunch break. And I just thought that that was really cool. Maybe that's the only 25 to 30 minutes they have in their day to get in any type of exercise. And yeah, we can always say, oh, they could wake up earlier. It just doesn't work out like that sometimes, guys. You have families, you have life obligations, or whatever you have, and maybe walking isn't as much activity as you would prefer, but maybe it's all they can do. I don't know. I just thought that, it's kind of inspiring to see that that's not the first thing they want to do on their lunch break. Trust me, I can guarantee that. Maybe for some people it is, but most people want to socialize or just relax from the workday. And the fact that they're taking the initiative to exercise during the free block of time that they have, yeah, I kind of like that. And, it's the same thing when I see people just walking around my neighborhood. Maybe that's the only type of physical activity that they can actually partake in, but they're still doing it, and that's better than nothing in my opinion. So I kind of look up to those people. If you're that person, or if you have family members that are like that's their form of exercise, kudos to you guys.
You'll win somehow, so give up on the battle, baby. It's hard, I know.
Wake up, boys. It is almost 5 o'clock in the morning and we got work to do. This morning is actually going to be the first day of the new program. Pretty excited for it. It's almost like Christmas morning when you start a new program, or maybe that's just me, but I mean, how bad can it be when you got some Kevin Gates Pandora, you got your coffee right there. Even though it's freezing cold out here, I think we're going to make it. So I'll talk to you guys in the commentary. One of my favorite songs in the entire world. You guys remember DMX? Pandora is like, so clutch. You guys would not even believe how long it has taken me to edit just this 10-minute video. I got some new editing software. I was gonna go with Final Cut Pro, but Mike from Business&Fitness talked me into going with Premiere Pro from Adobe. I'm really glad I did. I really like it, but it's taken me some getting used to. So if you see some weird editing, it's just because I'm trying to play around with things here. And you guys know I'm doing my own programming now after working with a coach for about 36 weeks. And it's been pretty interesting. So what I'm doing is taking what I've learned from John and just adapting it to where I'm at now in my training, using a lot of the same methods and the same strategies that he had me using. I really like the way that he laid things out. I also went ahead and created a Fitocracy account for the sole purpose of stealing Brandon Campbell's programming. So I've been picking his brain a little bit, trying to use some of the things that he uses. And that's pretty much going to be how I develop this program, as you see me writing down right now, which is I just put in an Excel spreadsheet. So really overall, it's going to be very similar to what you've seen. And I'm not going to get too much into it because this is going to be a bit of a deload week. I can really feel my body just cracking everywhere, and I can tell my nervous system is taking a hit from the last few weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and take a light week, and I'm going to go into more depth in the next training video of how I deload, why I deload, and my thoughts on that. But in this video, I wanted to talk about just having confidence in your abilities, because these last few weeks when I've been programming for myself, it's been a little bit stressful. This is something that means a lot to most of us, and we don't want to mess it up. But you have to be at the point where you just gain as much information as you can and make the best decision you can based off of that, and just knowing that you're the best person in most cases to make the types of decisions that are going to affect your training, if that makes any sense. So no one knows your body like you do. I mean, you need to reach out for the information from professionals like I did. I was getting coached. I was under great guidance for 30 weeks, but now has come the time where I need to implement it for myself. And what I try to do is take lessons from training and extrapolate them into the real world. So I'll take buying a house, for instance. When you buy a house, you're going to need a ton of advice from so many people, and you're going to ask around, and everyone is going to have a different opinion on what you should do. But no one has to face the consequences besides you. So at the end of the day, you can take their advice, but if it doesn't give you the right result, I mean, it's still your fault. So let's take an example from work. Maybe This is a great example. This is very relevant to my life. Say you need a heater for your garage because it's too cold to work out in. Well, you might ask two people. You might ask Bobby in accounting and Sally in marketing. And Bobby will say, no, buy this heater because it's very economical. It might not keep your garage the warmest, but it won't break the bank and it will just take the edge off. Sally, on the other hand, who, keep in mind, works in marketing for a reason, because she couldn't pass intermediate accounting. I'm just kidding, marketers, don't get mad at me. But come on, she works in marketing. She doesn't know a damn thing about money, so she's gonna be like, oh, buy the new geothermal system. It only costs $5,000, but it'll keep your garage the perfect temperature year round. And when it's all said and done, she's not gonna have to pay the bill, and Bobby's not gonna have to be in your cold garage for buying a cheap heating system. So all you can do is take feedback and input from different places and make the best decision for you. You're the one that's gonna have to live with it. And that's one of the things that you have to learn about programming, is there's a ton of knowledge out there. There's going to be a ton of different opinions, but as long as you're educating yourself, going with your own intuition, you have the ability to make the best decision for you. And that's what it's all about. These are your results. You have to take responsibility for them, both the good and the bad. But either way, you just have to own it, guys. And like I mentioned, this goes beyond training. If you're like me, you like confirmation when you're in a situation with some uncertainty. You like to know that other people feel the same way, or you like to hear their ideas and their suggestions. It's just reassuring. Maybe that's human nature, but it's in your ability. You have the power, you have the knowledge, you have the skills to make the right decisions for yourself. And that's kind of the image I'm trying to portray here, and it's something that I need to keep telling myself, keep reminding myself, because I still need to work on that as well. So I hope you guys like this video. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. I would really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.
Going on 7 now, and I just finished up with the workout. Overall, really happy with the way things went. I think that I'm on the right track here. One of the things I also have to keep in mind when I'm programming is I have to make sure there's enough volume to progress, make sure there's not too much volume where I'm stalling and overtaxing my nervous system, but also make sure that I can fit it within a certain time block, because you guys know I work a full-time job, so it's not just like, oh, in the ideal world I could spend this much time, take this much rest period. I have to keep in mind, this is all I got, so I'm going to make the best of what I have. But you guys saw I just spent, what, almost an hour and 45 minutes. I had to get loose for like 30 minutes, to be honest. It was freezing out there. But, you know, I was gonna say it is what it is. I hate that. That is the worst saying ever. Never say that. It just means you don't know what you're talking about. Usually. 99% of the time. Anyway, I actually have to go to work now, so I'll talk to you guys later. Any of you guys that train before work, do you ever feel kind of Superman-esque when you're in your gym clothes and then 10 minutes later you're all dressed up getting ready to go to your job? It's almost like you have an alter ego of some sorts. But I am ready to go take on the world, guys. So before I go, figured I would just show you. I will be running errands on lunch break today, so I just brought something that I can eat with me while I drive. Got some pop chips, strawberries, overnight oats for breakfast. I will eat that in the car on my way there. Just a little ham sandwich. So that's it, guys. I'm out of here. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you very soon. You guys know how much I love that Hungry Jack chocolate chip pancake mix. Well, I was making one last night, and I was thinking, why can't I use this as bread to make, I don't know, a sandwich of some kind? And then I started thinking today, I was like, you know what wouldn't be too bad? It would be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich inside of a pancake. So if I can execute this, I think it's going to turn out pretty well. Over here, I'm just going to make one big pancake, and then inside of it, I'm actually going to use some of this Jif's peanut butter cereal and some of this Better and peanut butter. I don't know if you guys have seen this before. It's not as good as regular peanut butter, and usually none of these low-fat substitutes are, but in my opinion this is better than PB2, and it has really solid macros if you're running low in fat. So for 32 grams, which is the same serving as regular peanut butter, you're looking at 100 calories, 2 grams of fat, 13 carbs, and 4 protein. I'm going to use about 3 servings of that, and then I'm also going to use 3 servings of this low sugar jelly, and I think it's going to turn out pretty good. I lied about 3 servings here. I'm only going to use a serving and a half. I meant to say 3 tablespoons. There we go. I think we got it now. 13, 3, 1.5, you know, whatever. I had just some random macros left over, so I decided to mix a cup of almond milk and a half scoop of protein powder. You see that it didn't really mix in that well, but it actually tastes kind of good. It's like little clumps of chocolate. I don't know, maybe it's just me. When you start to get these bubbles, you know that it's time to flip. And right after you flip it, you're going to want to add the peanut butter on top. That way it'll get hot and it'll be easy to spread throughout the whole thing. Then you're just going to add the jelly and the cereal, and then I'll show you what's next. I thought the cereal might get a little soggy if I added it while it was on the heat. So I took it off, cut it in half, and now I will add the cereal. Like so, and then there it is. It's probably going to be too messy to pick up and eat like a sandwich. But oh my goodness, guys. So much greatness in every single bite of this. Final thoughts, awesome idea, average execution. I should not have included the cereal. I know that sounds kind of weird, like how does that Jif cereal make anything worse? It just made it a little bit too soggy, so just exclude that and use real peanut butter instead of fake peanut butter. And there you have it, guys. That will be the money shot right there. Learn from my mistakes, like my video, subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you guys next time.